Hello my friends and welcome back. Russia and China started a long time ago to get tangled more in economic terms and military terms, besides the diplomatic terms as well. And Russia has the biggest gas pipe, I think, going to China, and also has big business with oil, sending it to China. Do business in yuan and ruble, trying to bypass the dollar, and many other economic facilities that they do in bilateral terms, so they don't have to involve foreign currency, which would be a dollar or the euro. And as much as they the more they will start making business or doing business in their own currencies, they will bypass the dollar. Now we can argue that well, their bilateral economic exchange is not big, so it's not going to affect anything. It will not, but on the same time, there are, I think, that's my assessment, they try to create another economic group, network among countries that will just get rid of the dollar slowly, and that starts with BRICS. That's the foundation of BRICS, which is you know, the economic organization club, if you want, which is what, Brazil, South Africa, India, Russia and China. Now this article that I have here comes from Business Insider from September 1st, 2022. Russia is weighing a plan to buy $70 billion in China's yuan and other friendly currencies to weaken the ruble. So their friends are ready to help. So Russia is considering a plan to buy up to $70 billion in friendly foreign currency, Bloomberg reported. Buying China's yuan and other currencies could slow the ruble's sharp rise, central bankers hope. Moscow is rethinking its FX strategy after sanctions froze half of its $640 billion in foreign reserves. So how can you play with these guys that inserted themselves in your business with someone else, and they froze $640 billion? Can you comprehend what that is? There is what, 1 year of funding the military industrial complex here in the United States, not even, almost, right? So is that what it is? Anyway, Russia is considering buying up to $70 billion in Chinese yuan and other currency from friendly countries. Right. Yeah, the U.S. Military budget is 770 some billion, so these guys have 640 billions in foreign reserves that were frozen. So the purchases would be part of a broader Kremlin strategy to weaken the Russian currency, the report said Thursday, citing people familiar with the deliberations. The ruble plummeted in the immediate aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine in late February, as Western countries sanctioned Russian banking system. But it has since risen nearly 40% against the dollar, thanks to the Russian central bank's limits on currencies, outflows and sharp interest rate hike, and to earnings from energy exports. One concern for Moscow is the currency may now be too strong against dollar and the euro. Russia's finance minister Anton Siulanov said in June the Kremlin was ready to use its foreign currency reserve to influence the exchange rate. For years, Russia focused on its economic policy on building up foreign exchange reserves with the likes of the dollar and euro, but it has been working on shifting to other currencies ever since Western sanctions put half of its $640 billion in reserves in the freeze. So yeah, you thought that the Westerns are going to be, you know, a contract is a contract, but well, too naive. Or the strategy also calls for Russia to start selling its yuan holdings, which would make up the bulk of the purchases in later years. Turkey's lira, the South African rand, and the United Arab Emirates dirham, either drachma, are seen as other friendly currencies. Moscow said in June that it is working on a plan to develop a new international reserve currency alongside Brazil, India, China, and South Africa, which haven't imposed widespread sanctions on the Kremlin. The ruble climbed 0.83% Thursday, making $1 worth just over 60 rubles. China's offshore yuan jumped after news of Russia's plan broke, but has slipped 0.14% against the greenback at last check. So they will build an alternative economic system, and they will. This is what I think they will do. If the Western, let's say, insurance companies, for various reasons, are playing politics, then I think the Russians will and the Chinese will say, you know what, we're going to create our own, and after we create our own, then there are going to be some problems, because you're going to have, let's say, on the high seas, you're going to have some vessels with insurances issued by their companies, by their club, that will not be not recognized by the other ones. So how are they going to put this together? They could not deliver certain things in certain ports because their paper would not be valid in those ports, and vice versa. So then what? And it's only one aspect. There's many other aspects between their currency and their way of doing business. This is the end game, I guess. This is gonna be them and us, and we will be in us, the ones that are with own nothing and be happy, and they will have whatever they will have over there, because I wouldn't care, because I don't intend of defecting over there. But it's just they probably keep the same whatever we used to have about 5 years ago here, without the globalist movement, obviously. I'm not painting the other side as being, a good, I don't even care about them. All I care about is what affects me immediately. I don't care what happens in Ukraine, and if that doesn't affect me, and it shouldn't affect me, but it does, because they made it that way. So that affects my life, and I think this is just a reason. It's a long shot here. It's a long shot, and I think we will start depending on we will be made to depend on our governments more and more and more, and we will be asked to shut up more, and we will be asked to have our freedoms infringed more, and all that, because boogeyman over there, global warming, and I don't know, someone doesn't have an erection every day or something. This kind of, they can tell you whatever they want. Remember, I come from a communist country. They could give you whatever reason they want, how should I put it, intelligent or logical or illogical and dumb. It didn't matter, because you couldn't do anything about it. They say, today we're going to do this because, I don't know, the Martians are fighting with the guys from the moon. And that's it. What are you going to say? How are you going to push back? You didn't have anything. And besides, you fight against the army? That's a joke, like here. We've got guns to defend ourselves, and if the government becomes tyrannical, blah, 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 blah. Really? With those you're going to find those guys. I made a video regarding this, and speaking with my barbershop about never in America, it's never gonna happen. Okay, like America is not populated with human beings, it's populated with perfect human beings. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. The other club is going to form its own currency, that's for sure. The whole economic and banking system pretty soon. If Russia doesn't collapse, that's the way they will go. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.